This is my 04 Cobra. This is my 04 Lightning. Before I talk to you about how I got these things, when I first started in the cars, it was back in high school, back in the day where everybody played Need for Speed Underground 2. Everyone had to get the big ass body kits and the big ass wings. The Honda game was pretty strong back in the day. My first car was a '95 Honda Civic. It was coupe, sunroof, single cam. It had VTEC, so you know you were the shit back in the day if you had VTEC in high school. I had that car for about a year and a half. I was driving home from school. Somebody ran a red light, and I crashed right into him. And that was the end of my first car. With the money on the insurance, I ended up getting a '95 Acura Integra, and it was a piece of crap. But you know, we were young, didn't have money. As long as you had a car, that's all we needed. And then I had that thing for a cool minute. Started hanging out with some buddies of mine who had a '99 Mustang GT and a '96 Cobra. And then from right there, that's when I started getting into the Fords. So I started truck driving for about a year and a half. As soon as I turned 21, I started driving. And I had sold my cars before that, my Integra. I didn't have any car for at least 2 years. And the money started coming in, and I bought me a 2007 Mustang GT with a 2.8 Kennyville Mammoth supercharger. It has Saline suspension and everything. Only spent $2,500 down, and it only had 40,000 miles. One owner, and it actually belonged to a police officer. So I bought it thinking I was cool. 3 days later, I ended up running over a wall. No, I gave it full throttle on a left-hand turn. The thing fishtailed. I turned the steering wheel to the right, went over the curb, went over the white picket fence, went into the brick wall, into somebody's backyard, and that was the end of that thing for 3 days that I've had it. After that, I learned my lesson. I figured out that when you have money, doesn't mean you can just buy nice fancy cars, because just because you have money doesn't mean you have the experience to drive something that powerful. You got to work your way up to it. So I've been doing my research a little bit more. I've always been a Mustang guy, and at the time, the videos I would always watch day and night, hours, were 03, 04 Cobras, flybys, complimations, and just against the world, everything. Cobras made the internet click for me. And the first Cobra I found was a 03 Sonic Blue. I was over the road. Unfortunately, I was out on the East Coast. The car was selling out here in Los Angeles. They sold the car before I can get it. I came home. I found another Cobra. It was an 03 10th anniversary, red. And that one had a built motor, stroked out to a 5.0, 3-point pressure, Whipple, something like that. And I had the money to buy it, but I learned my lesson from the first GT, so I was like, nah, I'm not gonna buy that thing. And I ended up coming up on this one. It had 140,000 miles. I had to put 6,000 down, and I'm the 9th owner actually on this Cobra. But I love it. It's a lot of fun. I recommend getting a Cobra, but just make sure you know what you're getting into. A lot of people bought these cars to race them, just do a bunch of stuff with them, abuse them, sell them. So if you're gonna get a Cobra, try to get one that's bone stock, because they're gonna be neglected. So after I crashed my first GT, I decided to chill, save some money, and buy something that I really wanted. And at the time, it was an 03, 04 Cobra. I would watch those videos all day, just hours, just constantly watching videos, exhaust, flybys, Cobras against the world, and I ended up finding this thing. I was so happy, man, when I first got it, man. Like, I wanted to fall asleep in it. It's nothing like buying your dream car, man, at a young age. I bought it by myself, no co-signer. I did everything by myself. It just feels good, man. when you have a dream and you achieve it, it's so satisfying. 3 days after getting the car, the first thing I did was I put 14 gears in it. It had 373s. On the way home, after buying this thing, I went with my friend who has a 03 Lightning. We raced on the freeway, and his Lightning was actually dead even with me on the freeway, and that's a truck. So the 373 gears had to go. I just don't like them. Ended up putting 410s, and then maxed out my credit card. Bought a bunch of parts from American Muscle, late model, full exhaust, long tube headers, Asani cap back. I mentioned that we got the 410 gears. I bought dual pass heat exchanger, bigger radiator, a bigger electric fans. Just everything you could think of, I just bought it, full bolt-ons. And I went to go get this thing tuned at GTR. And GTR does a really good job at building vehicles. I wouldn't recommend them for getting tunes because they don't tune the cars themselves. They do email tunes from the East Coast. And I don't know what, man, ever since I tuned my car from them, it just hasn't driven the same. It bogged, it would sputter, it would have no power, and it would just backfire a lot. It started blowing fuel rail pressure sensors, and those are parts you can't just buy from Ford like right off the shelf. A lot of them are on back order. I had 4 fuel rail pressure sensors that I bought for this thing. I bought 2 of them here in Los Angeles, 1 in Georgia, 1 in Utah for when I was doing on the road. And yeah, man, I hate to talk bad about shops, but if you're gonna tune your vehicle, go to someone that actually tunes it themselves. Don't do email tunes, they're not worth it. So this thing has sat for a while. I've had some fun with it. I've taken it to the track, Irwindale. I'm not a drag racer, but I do know what I'm doing. My first run was 808 with the 1.8 60 foot on Nittos, which is not bad. If I would have had full drags, I probably would have got like a 1.6, 1.5 60 foot because of the 410 gears, and I have a 2-step on it. And but yeah, ever since GTR, the car just didn't run the same. I kind of lost interest in it. You know, everyone was, S550s came out, and you know, nobody knew what Cobras were anymore. So I kind of just let it sit for a while, and been letting it collect dust for about 2 years. I'm very indecisive when it comes to building cars. I want things a certain way. There's so many blowers you can get. You know, you can go turbo, you can go Paxton, you can go Kenny Bell, Whipple, you can port this blower. But I want to have a car that's unique, because you don't see that many Cobras out there. And if you do, they're usually done up with something crazy. They got carbon fiber everywhere, or they got like aftermarket wheels or XXRs and stuff like that. And I just want to keep it as original as I can. I ended up meeting up one of my friends in Texas who has an 03 Cobra. He has a 2.2 Kenny Bell, makes around 700 horsepower on E85. I've been talking to him for about 1.5 years, trying to get him to sell me his blower, and he just didn't want to, because I mean, who could blame him? The 2.2 Kenny Bell is the loudest blower you can get. No other blower sounds like a Kenny Bell, man. They scream, and they don't make them anymore. So I wanted to have something old school, OG, like, damn, look at that Cobra. It might not be the fastest, but it's definitely gonna be the cleanest. And luckily he ended up selling me his 2.2. I ended up getting the Kenny Bell from him. I ended up getting the fuel rails. I ended up getting his injectors, his fuel pumps, his hat for the gas tank, his cold air intake, mass airflow sensor. I pretty much have everything I have to make 700 horsepower. I just want to get, just want to take my time, take my time and do it right. I don't want to rush it. And this car could have been finished by now, but I ended up buying this Lightning. I never thought I would have an 04 Cobra and an 04 Lightning. It's pretty cool, but I know why a lot of people don't have them, because they're expensive. You always see one or the other. You never see people having both. And going on to my Lightning, my buddy with the Lightning, the one who took me to buy this Cobra, he found this one on the internet, and he was like, dude, man, I found this bad 04 Lightning. Dude, you're gonna love it. Buy it. You have money. Just go for it, man. Like, don't worry about the Cobra. Buy a Lightning. The trucks are in right now. Went to go look at it in LA, man. This thing had 24s, chrome rims, had chrome grill, chrome door handles. Even the freaking license plate had a chrome eagle on the back of it. It was ugly. The paint was in horrible shape. Just a lot of elbow grease to bring this thing back to life while I was. I ended up buying the aftermarket wheels, but they're just like the originals. So the stock 18 Lightning wheels. I ended up lowering it from DJM suspension because I wanted to lower the truck right. I didn't want to C-notch it or cut the frame or anything. I want to have a nice clean Lightning, because when you see Lightnings around, they're all beat up. Yeah, they're fast or whatever, but everyone's got 26-inch rims and they got a sunroof on. I don't want to do that. I want to keep it old school, just OG, man. Keep the Cobra OG classic. Keep the Lightning. Keep the Cobra OG. Keep the Lightning OG. So I ended up buying a bunch of stuff for this one as well. Maxed out my credit card again. Got exact same exhaust setup this has, so does the Cobra. They're both long tube headers. They're both full Bassani exhaust. I want to keep it unique. Same gear setup. They both have 410 gears. They both have, wide bands, all the bolt-ons. The only thing different that this Lightning has now is it's on the 85. I never got a chance to go 85 on the Cobra. And so yeah, we bought all the stuff, we put it together, and right before I was gonna take it to Geo's Performance to get it tuned, my blower started knocking and making some weird noises. It's like I can't catch a break, man, building these things. I got it tuned. I got this one tuned. It took crap. And I'm getting ready to get this one tuned, and it took a shit on me too. But luckily, I have a Cobra, and they're both Ian superchargers. So I ended up taking off the internals, the rotors, and the bearings, the whole snout from the Cobra, and then swapped it into the Lightning blower, and I ported the Lightning blower. And the Cobra, the Lightning made 500 horsepower, 600 torque to the wheels, right on the money. And it's pretty quick, man, for a truck. 410 gears. It's got a shift kit on it. It's got all the bolt-ons you can think of. It's a pretty good truck. I'm pretty happy with it. For being an 04, I haven't lost to one single truck out here. Not even any cars from a dig. On the freeway, it's a different story. It's pretty damn slow. But that's the story of my Lightning. Once I'm trying to pay it off right now, because I still want to build the Cobra, but to me it doesn't make sense financially to what I'm gonna spend to build the Cobra. I can easily pay off the Lightning, so financially it just makes more sense to pay it off. I got everything I need for the Cobra. I'll do a center console for this thing. I'll repaint the Lightning red so it looks brand new. The exact same paint color this one is, I'm gonna paint this one. So I want to have two 04 SVTs, Lightning, Cobra, both the same color red. And those are my goals for these two cars. It takes time to build stuff, man. It doesn't happen overnight. But I'm very happy, man. I'm fortunate to have a Lightning and the Cobra. I can't think of anyone else who has it. So that's the story of my Cobra and my Lightning. I try to keep it short. It's been a long journey. Had these things for a couple years now, and I'm pretty happy, man. Yeah, they're both money pits, man. It's if you buy either one of these two, just be ready to spend a lot of money. spent a lot of money fixing them, rebuilding them, and doing everything right the first way. Because odds are, the previous owners who had them, they just abused them, raced them, and that was it. So just keep that in mind if you want to get a Lightning in the Cobra. But I'm happy I got them. They'll get there. They'll get fixed when they get fixed. And who knows? Sometime in the future, they're gonna be worth a lot of money. I probably could be sitting on $100,000 right here, cash money. You never know. If you guys enjoyed the story, thank you for listening. My name's Rob.